Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. My name is Obendako. I want to share with you selling with conviction. Selling with conviction. A lot of people have a lot of confidence in the education that they have. A lot of people have conviction over pitch their professional background, such that the people who are involved in professional selling, or say retailing, or say direct sales, in the kind of culture that we live in, is not that much appealing, so to say. They look a little down on this sector of business. The other day I was parking somewhere in one of the commercial areas, and there was this girl who came around, and she was selling some product. I think it's a drink. It's a drink that they are trying to promote. And so she was telling me to buy buy one of the drinks for her. And she started talking. I asked her, no, I don't have money to buy. I told her I don't have money to buy. She said, and I asked her, where do you come from? She said it, and said, why are you selling this? And she said that, can you imagine I'm in the university and I am selling this? And then I asked her, but what makes you think that if you're in the university you cannot sell this? And she said, no, I'm doing human resource management, and therefore, coming around to sell this is not, it's not good. But I feel bored in my hostel, so that's why I joined some of my friends to come here to sell. Then I told her, I think this selling experience that you are building is more important than the degree that you are getting from whichever university that you think you are. Then she stood there for a while. I said, because you are building confidence to present ideas, to present something to somebody, and take the risk to, to be declined, to be told no, to be said no, I'm to be told that, having the courage, because this is what most people, or most of us, find it difficult, gathering the courage to approach people, to present something, to tell them this is what I want you to buy from me, or this is what I want you to help me with. So I told her that this thing you're doing, for me, if I were to interview you for a job, I will look for this more than the so-called degree that you think you have, which makes you think that selling is below you. And then I've seen that sometimes some of the people who come for interview that we are trying to give some position to in some of the businesses there, when it comes to the selling, they think that even their families don't even encourage them to sell. Their families will rather never tell them to consider a job that is into, selling, because they think that is below them. And it's amazing how in an economy where a lot of people don't have jobs, then somebody can have the conviction to say that even if I don't have anything to do, I will rather not take this job, which is about selling, even if they are the manager. It's a cultural thing. And I think that beyond the culture is the conviction that people don't have. And conviction in themselves, conviction in their abilities, conviction in what they set out to do. And people who don't have convictions on their own are easily disturbed by what others think of them quickly. So I told the girl, this is a good thing for you. to learn. And so we talked about 13, maybe 10 minutes. And she was going, I don't know whether she was convinced or not. But at least, and I asked her, what does she do? What does the parents, the father do? And she said that the father is into restaurant. And I asked her, so do you help him at all? He said, oh no, I mean, sometimes I go, I help her. I help my father to sell. And she was not talking. It was like, because now she's in college, she's in the university, the selling is below her. And it's so, I amazing for you to think that the business that your father is doing to pay the school fees and everything is below you, and yet this is the skill that a lot of us need. So we live in a culture that many people who feel that because they have gone to school to have something they call degree, selling is below them. And they think that selling is just about picking a product and taking it to another person for money, or being in a shop and engaging in some kind of retail activities. And especially retail, a lot of the people who have gone to college think that is way below them. The culture actually looks down upon it, and I think it's because the culture itself is laid back. People are laid back. People don't have strong convictions of their own. People are not able to confront people. People are not able to challenge some people and stand on their own. And I think that is why the customer service that we give to people is still that very weak, because people don't have that strong conviction, so to say, to put up an idea and to stand for something. So because most people don't even start to, most people, they don't even see the need of how much important selling is to the survival of any business at all. And how it is a profession that is learned, how it's a profession that is developed. And so the lady does not have any job at all, but she will rather go and sit somewhere that they think is more appropriate, in quotes, that people like, than for her to take that commission job that she goes around to sell, or that sales assistant job that she's learning to approach people and to present a product for people to buy from them. It is a major issue. And I think that if you are going to do away with a lot of these unemployment, some of the things that we are going to do, because says every product that people are putting out, we have got to sell them anyway. And so if people are very shy, that's why sometimes when you go to restaurant, you see that you're not happy with the services. Why? Because a lot of people are not very much comfortable with rendering any kind of service that comes into contact with people that much, because we are overconscious of ourselves, of our image, of what the other person thinks. And therefore, if we think that this job is for people who are of a certain class, maybe a lower class than what we think we have, then we are not happy trying to do that at all. And that goes against a lot of these people who have gone to school, that so-called thing that they call school. They hold themselves in a certain class, and therefore they are quick to tell you that I'm doing this just for a while because I've gone to school. Sometimes you cannot blame them, because the pressure of the culture, when somebody comes to see you, say in sales in any business, the obvious thing is that they think that you just didn't go to any school. So people are prompt to just tell people about why they have gone to school. If you go to marketplaces, some of the people there have some degrees, but they are prompt to tell you that I have gone to school, which I think is not needed. If you have gone to school, you have gone to school for yourself. You don't have to present yourself to tell somebody that I've gone to school, so you have to respect me because I've gone to school. I want to respect you because you are doing something that is significant, and that which you assume some kind of confidence. You are convinced that what you're doing is relevant, is important. You are not below it. That is what I think calls for respect, not just because the school that you have gone to. People who respect you because you have just gone to school are the weak-minded, so to say. I want to see results, not just school. So if you are into any kind of business which is into sales, you have to convince your people and tell them, train them to have some level of understanding of what the importance of what they are doing, and why the sales is not a demeaning job. Because if you don't do that, they will only show up and try to do something good when you're present. But when you are not present, they are not happy at all. And that's why, if you look at it, the turnover rate of retail is that low across board. In a lot of countries, it's that low. And here is that very, the turnover is that very high. The rate at which people stop the work in terms of sales retail is very high. People would rather even stop and go and sit in the house for months than to be somewhere and selling, because they think that is below them. If you pick them like that, if it's your business and you have got to deal with this kind of thing, which you create people to help you to sell anything at all, what I think you have to do is that you have to raise their confidence, you have to raise their conviction, and then you have to make the work conditions very favorable for them. At least those who have some level of self-esteem will stay with you and work. And then maybe the other thing is that sometimes the pay is not good, and that also makes them feel like they are nothing. And sometimes people will stop this work and go and sit maybe in a bank at the back office, just counting money. And the salary may not even be better than the one that they are receiving in the sales shop. Why? Because people don't like being seen being seen by people selling in a shop, having some kind of something that they call education degree, HND, those kind of things. They think that is below them, and yet they have been in the house for only God knows. Now the thing about it is that the same people, when they travel out of this country and they go somewhere, they are able to work in the shops in spite of their so-called degrees, or they work even as security people or any kind of factory hands, and they work. They will argue that they have pay. I don't think so. It's because most of them are not. The people who see them are not the people that they worry so much about. So people may also be hesitant to work in this kind of profession because they worry so much about what people think. And why you worry so much about what people think is that you have not developed an understanding in what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. And so if you have a team, or even if you are in some bit of sales business yourself, or you are an employee in a sales company, and you still feel shy, it means that you have not developed good conviction about what you're doing and how that experience can change your life. And people, so you have got to build your own convictions. You have got to believe that this says helps you. See, says one of maybe I was practicing it unknowingly, but I started to learn it as a training tool, as a force in business building not long ago. We started training some of our workers right from the day that we start, right from the year that we started some of this sales business, but as a constructive strategy. I started to learn it maybe 3-4 years, now, and to see the force of it, and I intensified that maybe the last 2 years, to see how relevant it is and how it is done with a strategy, with a plan, for the business to grow. I started learning it a bit late, and yet it was just about the first thing that I should have learned. Why? Because I'm not a salesperson. I was not chanced to be trained as a salesperson. A lot of us may have sold something. I work in a shop before. I learned it, but I didn't see it as a major tool to help me succeed in business, and so the same with a lot of people. They don't see it as a major tool, and yet is that which your business depends on. If the leads are not coming to the business, if the sales is down, your business is going down. And so if you pick anybody from this culture, they are just like me. They may not be conscious of it. They may be shy. They may be over concern of what the community thinks, what their friends think, what their family people think about them. A lot of, you see, the most painful aspect of it is that the parents may even tell them, you have sent you to go to school and now you work in a shop. And so the people are hearing a lot of weak statements all the time. Then the same person, if they work in a bank as a clerk, or those who count money in the bank, the family does not have any problem with it at all because he works in a bank. Yet the bank is just checking money, typing computer, and they think that you need degree to do that. But you don't need degree to convince people to buy a product, and you don't need degree to lead a team. You have a sales team, maybe 5-10 people. You don't need some kind of creativity and creative thinking and critical thinking to build them. That is the family. Because why? Because our understanding of retail is that be a shop or for be a town, So there is a cultural component, a family kind of component to our acceptance of sales as a profession, and how we are even developing it ourselves as business people. And so you have to know the kind of background that they are coming from. You have to build that conviction yourself, and you have to help your team to build this conviction and to know the importance of the sales. They should not feel like because they didn't have any work. For me, if you come for an interview and you think that, oh, I just need this kind of work so that I can have a bit, I will not take you. If you come to pitch me that your parents were not even happy with you coming to look for this kind of work, I will not pick you. I want somebody with some kind of conviction that this is relevant and I'm going to learn this and it will help me in other aspects of my life. And I am not higher than this profession, which is called sales. So whether it's a direct sales or retail sales, I am not below it. This kind of conviction is what I'm looking for. So if I'm interviewing any person at all, I'm looking for somebody who has solved this puzzle in their own personal, lives. I want to see that you have some bit of courage, some bit of philosophies of your own. If you're a popular thinker, if you're somebody who just thinks just like anybody at all, I will not take you on the job. I will not, because the thing is that when they are there, they will leave you anyway. They will leave in a minute. They will leave when there's another opportunity somewhere, what they call opportunity. Why? Because they are not proud of the sales at all. And it's a cultural thing. That's why a lot of us complain about the bad customer services that we get across board, whether it's the restaurant, whether you went to the shop to buy something and the girl was just chewing the gum, she didn't look at you, she was on phone. Those are things. Part of it is because they've not been trained, and major part of it is that they have no conviction in what they are doing. They don't think that is important at all. They think that is below them. And so you as a business person, or you as somebody who wants to sell, to go forward, as a major thing that you have to look at. You have to make sure that your people are trained and understand this thing well, because other than that, they will feel like it's even a punishment. They'll feel like they are so low and their life is not going anywhere. And yet sometimes you may even be paying them far better than what the so-called professional, the so-called good jobs are even paying them. But because they continuously meet people in the shop, they continuously take the product to these offices, and they meet people who look down upon this kind of work, they have got to lift that conviction up very high. Very high, especially if they have some bit of education, whether they have some tertiary education. Those kind of people, they seem to worry so much about what people think about them and the work that they do. But I think that is one of the best things that you can do, the ability to confront people and to pitch them with your product and convince people to buy from you. So you can help them, because if you help them to see the importance of sales with respect to how they're able to develop a persistent spirit, because you need persistence to even succeed in anything that you do, and how they are able to build their negotiating skill, the ability to negotiate anything at all and argue and convince people, the ability to get results. I think one of the best place to prove that is in sales. When the girl comes in, she's shy. After being with the sales team for 2 months, the same girl is able to approach people and tell them something, and unconsciously, they carry that across all their other lives. So it's something that can help a lot of people, because the sales business, the sales profession, the sales portion of our economy is still, just like a lot of the others, are still very much informal. There's not much training going on, and so we expect them to come with the same skill that they had from the house to come and sell, and that is not going to happen, because from the house what they respect is not somebody who's a sales executive or sales expert. No, they respect the one with the suit, with the tie, with the engineer, with the lawyer. They respect the politician. They respect the doctor. They don't respect somebody who is selling a shop. No. So you have to train them. They don't expect somebody who is taking a product, perfume, from one shop to the other. They don't think that you mean anything. The only way that they may see some kind of respect is how much the people are making from the sales. Then maybe they will think of it. And the other thing is that, in spite of all this, most of these people who work in all these organizations have some kind of side business, which is also into sales. They sell shoe in their car, they sell perfumes, they have some retail shop, they have some provision shop. These are all sales, but they don't even carry the same kind of respect to the people that they put in those shops for them, because they don't think that it even needs any training at all. So it's just they just come and shout at them. It's all just about shouting. Yet it's a discipline that calls for a lot of training, a lot of preparation, both on your part as a business leader and both on the part of your team. So we are talking about conviction. Sales conviction is so much important, especially if you have a product that you are selling. The skills that you are going to give to your sales team is what is going to decide whether your product will succeed or they will fail. The customer service that they are going to give to your customers, if it is up, the customer experiences that your team is giving, if it's that top notch, people will keep coming to you, no matter what others are selling, because you have trained them consciously. And yet this is one of the things that people really look down upon. This is a lot of people look. Nobody goes to school to say that I want to go and work with ShopRite, or I want to go and work with MV, or I want to go and sell something in the shop. No, people don't come to think like that. And yet it's the skill that makes the money. A lot of people, whether they are into selling of houses, selling of cars, selling of products in shops, pharmaceutical, pharmacies, they're all selling. Yet when you go to the pharmacy shop, they act as if they are doctors more than the salespeople. You go to any pharmacy shop and see how they are trying to sell the drug to you. It's like they are doing you a favor. If you want to buy, if you don't want to buy, go home. Why? Because the training is weak and people are much conscious of, why am I in this? Why am I doing this? So even most pharmacies, if you look at them, they're more of the drug knowledge than the selling knowledge. Yet they are in the shop and they are selling, whether you like it or not. You're selling. You have a pharmacy shop, you're selling to people. Yes, you may have some pharmaceutical, technical, whatever understanding that you have, but you're selling to people. It's service that you're rendering. And yet their sales techniques, their sales experience is that weak. You go to any pharmaceutical shop at all, you just try it and see. No training. They don't give them any training at all. Any training. I may be wrong, but just my experience is that it's a very weak area. Very, very, very weak, very weak. And so it's because people feel like, I didn't go to school to come and do this. So there's no pride. They don't have any pride trying to do that. And yet it's something that they have gone to school to do, that they have to do it well. And it's because of the convictions that they don't have. They don't have personal conviction at all. They don't have an understanding of themselves, understanding of what they are selling, understanding of why they work where they are. And somebody has got to train them, help them to think rightly. So that is the culture we live in. People feel like if I've gone to school, then selling is below me. They don't sell anything at all. And not just selling, service is very difficult for people. You know, you go there, they look at you, they frown, they don't care about you. If you like, put the money there. Sometimes the only way that they laugh is when you pay, you put money on the table, then they laugh. So the culture looks down upon selling. So if you're into this kind of business, then you have got to have a strong culture, which is above the one that they're coming from, so that when they come, they know that they're equipped to sell and not feel bad that this is an industry which is so below me, because they are working, and they're working like any other place that people work to get paid. You know, the only thing is that they come. We had instances where some people who came to work with us will actually tell customers, or some of them, amazed at me, I have a degree. You know, so you know that's the point. So you have got to train them and to teach them to see that. So I was talking of this girl who I met who was selling a drink, and she thought that she is in the university third year, and selling the drink, moving around to sell a drink is below her. I'm like, who told you? This is far more important to me than the degree that the human resource degree that they are giving you, that you are only writing what they put in paper. You know, even your exam, they are only testing you what they told you. So what kind of skill are you gaining in the first place from whatever school that you think you're going? This, the one that you're producing results, you're able to sell 20 of these, 50 of these in an hour. That is a proof of results, you know, and that is what somebody can give you another big business, and you'll be able to lift it from this level to the other level, because you've been able to convince people, approach people. You're not afraid, you are not shy, you're able to tell people, this is what I want you to buy from me, this is what I need, this money from you, so please, this is what I've that confidence to approach people and present your idea is what sales helps you to get. And yet that's what they think that is below them. And a lot of the parents will never even push their children into working, even not on part-time, or not even when they are on holiday, to learn how to sell. And yet this is a skill that a lot of people need to learn for them to succeed in real life. Unless you are the ones, even if you're a politician, you have got to convince people for them to vote for you. And that is a skill that you cannot just take for granted. Selling. If you want to succeed as a business person, if you want to pitch your idea, if you start anything at all and you want people to see it and present it, it's not so much the technical expertise that will get your product, your idea, your business to people. It is your ability to take the product and go and convince somebody. It's your ability to build a team that you're able to push the product. That is what is going to separate you from the others. It's not so much how much well you have done what. If you sold the clothes and you're not able to convince people to buy the clothes nobody will see. You know, so the sales skills is a major skill in building a business. And if you're a shy person, you find it very difficult to approach people for anything. You know, so you may have a very fantastic idea, and yet you are so shy to approach people to buy from you. And so if you are going to build a business, one of the best things that you can learn beyond any other is the sales, your ability to show something to people and convince people, negotiate with people, you know, present your case. That ability is so much important. People talk of not having money to start a business. If your sales skill is very high, that is the money. That is the money. Your ability to pick that product, convince somebody to give you a product and present it to another person for you to be paid, and then come back to pay the one who gave you. It's the best way to start a business. It's not so much of I don't have money to start a business. The convincing power that you have, and it's a skill. Somebody who's been doing negotiation or convincing people to get on their project, on their idea, and to telling people how to buy from them. That person is skilled, and it's a whole process. How you prospect the idea, how you study the whole thing, how you even get the person to buy from it. Those are all skills that people have developed, and they have developed it to a very high level. That's why they're able to do a lot of sales. That's why they're able to grow their businesses to a very high level. And so those people who are thinking that the sales, I'm above sales, then why start business at all? Because if you're the one who you start the business, you are going to be involved in the sales. And if you are shy, then who should buy? If you produce anything at all, people have to buy. And so you cannot say that you have produced this, you have produced this thing, maybe a bangle or something. And you are shy to tell your friends, tell somebody around about it. Then who will know about it? And so beyond, I think that is even more powerful than just your ability to create anything. Your ability to sell what you have created or what you have produced is more powerful than your ability to produce it. Why? Because you can always get what somebody has produced to sell. But what is the essence of you producing something that nobody knows about, that nobody wants to buy because you are shy? So you produce it, you hide it somewhere. Somebody who does not know how to produce it can go and buy what somebody else has produced and go out and sell and build a business around it, because he has the sales skills. He knows how to convince people. He knows how to approach people to tell them something. And that is the very thing that this culture is trying to tell people who have gone to school to stay out. So people who have all kind of, even the people who have marketing will still be telling you, me, I have marketing. They will write marketing plan for you. And you tell them, I don't need a marketing plan. I need how to get people to order this product. And they tell you that one they don't know. Or they have never done that. I remember a guy approached me for something, and we took a product to him. And I told him that, let's say we want this product to sell. And he said that, okay, what we can do for you is that we'll produce a marketing strategy for you, do feasibility studies, all those things. And I told him, listen, those things, I can sit down and write them. Maybe not as perfect as yours, but I can sit down and write something. What we need is tell us this place needs 10,000 of this product. This place needs another 20,000 of this product. This is what we need. We don't need feasibility studies. We don't need all those things that you want to tell us. We don't need that. We only need the orders. We only need the orders. And you know what he told me? He said, okay, I will send you an email. And the next day he sent me an email to say that they can do it. Why? And these are people who say that they are marketing experts. They can only write their documents. They can't approach people to sell to. Why? Because they did not develop it on the ground. They only read about it. They did not do it themselves. And part of it is the conviction. Because conviction has a link to do with your understanding. And once you are convinced of something, you don't care whoever is coming or whoever is not coming. You're able to approach people and just tell them, I'm selling this. And that's why when you see the boys on the street selling the traffic, you see, they are convinced. You tell them no, they go to the next one, especially those who come to clean your car. They have heard the no so much that they don't care anymore. They don't care that you say no. They will go to the next car. They go to the next car. Why? It's built. Now they understand that people are going to say no. People are going to say we want. People are going to shout at them. They know this is what it's going to take. And yet they will try, and I'm sure that they have their figures that if I try 100, maybe one will give me 1 CD or 2 CD. They have done it. So now they don't care. They are not afraid anymore. The same with us trying to learn selling. It's the same. You just have to believe that this one will help me to develop a good skill, because every business depends on selling. Every business. So never think of trying to start any business if you're not comfortable with selling anything at all, or if you're not developing that thing, that skill to sell, to talk, to train, to approach, to negotiate. That skill. If you cannot do that, then you will not have any business. You may have to probably team up with somebody who is that good in pitching the idea, in selling the idea, in selling the business. So don't just waste all your time trying to develop your business principles and all the documents, and you have no clue how to sell your business, how to sell the product, or you have no clue how to even develop a team to do the selling. And what I'm saying is that the people are shy. The people have no conviction. The people don't value the selling. The people think that if I've gone to school, I should go to another company and work and put on suit and tie and be called a manager. That is what they know. So if you are going to pick people from this kind of culture, you have got to train them and deal away with that thing that tells them that this selling is below them. You have to pick, if you are picking any graduate at all, test that. Test how they see approaching people. Test that. Don't just put them because they have MBA in anything. Let them go to the street and bring the sales, and let's see. Let them go to the shop and sell something, and let's prove it. If they are not proud of it, if they are shy, don't employ them. Let them go and look for a place where they will be very happy working. It will save you from a lot of pain. So some of the importance of the selling is that it gets us self-discipline. We are able to discipline ourselves, to set targets, sales targets for ourselves. We become persistent, and we are able to build and negotiate. We're able to build our case and negotiate. These are all skills from sales, and I'm sure that any lawyer who has ever been in sales will be a very fantastic lawyer. Why? Because they are able to convince people to take money from them. How much more pitching an idea, how much more presenting the case to a lawyer or a judge. So it helps us to get an understanding of how to get results, and so I'm talking about sell with conviction, and not only you. Sell yourself, sell your ideas, sell your business. Get your sales team to understand that selling is about conviction. If you don't believe in selling, and if you're shy, if you can't approach people, why are you trying to start business at all? Because you're going to sell something to somebody anyway. And never think that your background is more powerful or superior to you approaching people to sell something to them. Never think like that. If you get somebody who thinks like that, the mind is not stable to be in that business which you're selling anything. You don't need that, because they'll be shy. When they see their friends, they will be the one trying to tell them that, I just came here for one day, I'll go back. People who like that, you don't need them to be part of it. So the culture partly is to be blamed, because we place the school so high that people who especially those who even those who don't have degree, they think that they would rather become a nurse. What are you become? One of the commonest things that we get here is, why are you coming here for an interview? I need money to go to school, so I want to work a small, and then I will go back to school. Why do you want to go and study? I want to become a nurse. So a lot of them, this is not for them. It's okay. It's not for them, but it's for somebody. And that's why you see a lot of them finish school, college, they sit in the house. Yet there's another shop across the road that they need help. That person can go there and say that, gentleman, I can help you. Things that you are selling, how much I think that you can give me for me to bring in results, to help the business grow. Why? He's in the house, somebody is just across the street selling something, they need help, they will never go. And they could be in the house for 10 years. Why? Because they are above that thing. And you are never above anything that gives you money. Legally, ethically, you are never above anything like that. If you have to sell banana, kerosene, and it gives you revenue, it's a service that you're rendering. The only difference is that you should be able to build something good more around it for it to grow. But you are never above anything. If it's groundnut that you can sell to get revenue, you are never above it. Never believe that your school is above something. Never. Unless what you're doing is not good, it's unethical. But in terms of you rendering any service, anything at all, because any product is a big business, any service is a big business. The difference is the force, the people behind it, and what they can build around it. Any service. If you look at Nkate Burger, it's Nkate that they are selling, but it's a big business. I'm sure their values are very high. They may be making a lot of revenue every year, and yet it's Nkate that they are selling. It's granite that they are selling. So it doesn't matter what you're selling. It's banana. There are companies around the world who sell banana in big volumes who are making a lot of money. So don't tell me that if you're selling banana, it's only a weak business because the one behind it is not scaled. But you can pick the same banana and explode it. whatever people sell. Is it kenke? You can build a big business around kenke if you can create a very good selling strategy around the kenke. Is it wache? Same. Is it even the cocoa? What is it? The plantain that they are selling? Somebody can take it and change the whole business model around it, and it sell it to a lot of people and become a big business. So it really does not matter the product that you're selling. It doesn't matter so far as the product is not killing people. What matters is the mind and the expertise of the one who's doing the selling. And you're not going to do that, you're not going to learn that when you're shy of selling, thinking that selling is above you. A lot of the people who are selling things in town are making tons of what you call prestigious job, that they're paying something. A lot of the people who think that they are being paid well are nowhere close to people who are selling the things that we don't even value. Why? Because the money is in the selling. Whatever you're selling, that's where the money is. So if you don't believe in selling, okay, no problem, then the money won't come. It's as simple as that. And if you can do the selling well and grow the business and open up more, that's where the money is. It's not in the tie, it's not in the suit, it's in you learning how to sell. And selling is about conviction. Having that belief system that I'm not above this. This is a required is a necessity, or is necessary for the business to have the product to the market. And the only way we are going to get the product to the market is for us to make sure that our customers get the product. And we are going to train a team that is as good as making the product available to people everywhere. This is it. So if you don't believe in it, then you have no business. Even if you build anything that you so respect, whether it's a software company, whether it's a computer, whatever that you even deem as very nice, you are going to sell it to people. And you're not going to succeed in that business if you're not able to sell it to people. And so your conviction is not only in the product. The conviction is also in yourself to know that this selling is what is needed for this business to grow. And so you train yourself, you train your team. You go out and you make them feel like this is very necessary and it's as important as any other thing. So the selling is not below anybody. It's not below anybody. Once it's not killing people, once it's legal in the economy, once it's acceptable, it's not destroying anybody at all. So whatever, people are selling anything across the globe and they are making money and they have built business systems around them. But the first belief that the selling was never below them. So any culture that is poor will think that sales is below them, or people who are poor, they think that sales is below them. Even if it's good that you have got to convince somebody to buy. That's a selling, and that is selling. So whatever that you have, you're going to convince people to sell. And selling is not just selling. It's something that we learn. It's a process. There are a lot of things involved. There's a lot of thinking involved. There's a lot of strategy involved in selling. People analyze a lot of data. People are masterful at selling. So it's not the one that we are doing here, that the boy is chewing gum and in a shop. No, not those things. So if you have school, if you think that you are well educated and you have nowhere to work and you're looking for work every day, you're moving around, go to some supermarket and tell them, please, I want a place to work. And never feel like it's above you. It's never above you. And you may be shocked what ideas you will start to get just by you entering or working, being given the opportunity to work in a supermarket. Even if they have to pay you as a salesperson, it doesn't matter. What is important is that you enter and let's see what you can change in that business. And that idea or that skill will stay with you for the rest of your life. And you have no idea that you can take and go and build a business with it. Just that you enter somewhere and you started to learn how to sell. And there are a lot of businesses like that who are looking for people who can think and solve problems and build sales models. You can study the business and see which product moves at what time, There's a lot you can think, because you say that you have gone to school, so we expect you to think and use your brain and come up with some patterns, some trends that will improve the sales. If you so think that you have gone to school, but if you don't think, if you don't see yourself as you are not more powerful or more superior to the selling. No, you are not. So forget about your education. So I'm talking about selling with conviction. And I started by saying that I was parked somewhere, and there was this young woman who came around who was selling drink, and she engaged me to buy the drink from her. And she told me that, can you imagine, I'm in the university, I'm doing human resource management, something like that, and I am selling this here. Then I was intrigued, so I asked her, what makes you think that the school you are going is more important than selling that you're doing here? Or where did you get that idea? And I told her that, listen, if you are going to do anything at all, and if I were in a position to give you a job, I will not look at even the education that you have so much. I will look at your ability to get results. And that is what the selling that you're doing here. The fact that you could pick yourself, your mates are in the school, maybe watching movies, and you said that, okay, I want to use my spare time to go and sell, whether I need the money or even to develop myself. That confidence that you are building, that ability to approach people and sell, that is what's shaping your mind, not the content that they are giving you in school. No, you applying something that, having that courage to move to people, to say that I'm selling this, and you're not shy. And don't move to people telling them that I'm in the university, because nobody really cares about the university. You see, when you finish school, you are the only one who's so much interested in your degrees. Nobody else cares. The world is looking for people who can solve problems, not people who have finished university. So don't overrate your education so much. We are looking for people who can solve problems. And so the younger was doing something which was very good. And this is what they do when they finish school. That they are not confused as to where to go with their lives, and even what job to get. Even if they are not starting a business, they can easily get a job. Why? Because they were doing something whilst they were in school. So they were selling. And one thing about it is, apart from you building a skill by doing something with your life whilst even in school, selling or teaching or something, it also widens your network. So by the time you finish school, you know a lot of people. And so it's not your father going to beg somebody for you to get a job. You already have your network. And when you go, you can prove yourself because you have done this. And I will be impressed to give a job to any lady or any young man like that who was not prideful to take a sales position and train. And that's what, if you look at people who even turn up building businesses, that's what, those kind of training is what shaped them, separated them from the rest of their colleagues who were waiting for somebody to employ them for 5 years or 10 years. Why? Because they built that thing that is able to take no from somebody and still go to the next person. Take no from another person, goes and you go to another person. Take no from this person and go to another person. And that's what gets people to hit their goals. That's what gets people to build anything, become people who achieve anything, become people who build businesses, build products, build something. Your ability to keep talking to people. And once you are in the process of talking to people all the time, you are building a convincing sales ability, negotiating ability, and that's what a lot of people don't have. So a lot of people come to the table with just the technical knowledge, but they can sell beyond that. So somebody else has to go to sell, to bring the product, to bring the projects. Then they can be there to execute them. But without the projects coming in, nobody can can execute anything. So your ability to go to people, to tell them, and be ready to be told no, and not feel like it's nothing, because nobody wants to hear no. But that's how it is, and that's what selling helps you to get over. And it builds your confidence, it builds your conviction of life. And conviction is understanding. The moment you understand yourself, you understand why you are doing what you're doing, you get better every day. So don't follow the culture. The culture will make you feel like you have gone to school, so you just have to go and become that you studied. Even if you're not getting anything to do in that line, they still expect you to stay in the house. What is Kwabena doing? Kwabena is selling something on the street. What is university education? Yeah, then the parent will say, yes, I mean, we pay school fees for nothing. And that is so painful to hear from maybe your parents, But what the parent may not know is that boy that you pay the school fees, who is on the street selling something, or who has opened a kiosk selling something, give him 3 years. You will live and grow it and build something significant and employ people. Why? Just by starting something to sell. And so the people who are looking for immigration job and all those things, that's not what you need. Go and learn how to sell something. And if you have to get a job anywhere that they are selling something, get. And if they have to pay you 50 Ghana or 100 Ghana, doesn't matter. Put your degree somewhere. It's about your life. Your life. Don't look at your friends and where they are. They are where they are, but you are where you are. So what do you have to do to get over to the next place that you want to go? And that's what beats a lot of them, because when they take this sales job or something like that, they think like, my friend is way up somewhere and I am here. So tomorrow, if your friend is dead, are you going to die? No. Everyone and the lives that we are living, So, if you have nothing to do, get something to sell and learn about it. Get to a place that they are selling something, learn about it. If you have to pick a product somewhere and go and sell it, learn. And never give up. Build that conviction. Study it. You have no clue what it will do for you if you continue to do. What ideas will come out of it. What businesses you can build out of it if you don't lose your conviction. All great businesses started with something like that. Every business started with somebody who had conviction to work on something and make it beneficial to people. And a lot of them started with selling something anyway. And so they picked something, they saw it, they saw the essence of it, they picked something to sell, and then you see they start to build something around and it becomes a business. And so don't let your school stop you from becoming a good seller of anything. Don't let your school. You train as anything, doesn't matter. You train as a doctor if they don't have a job. Just go and get some strings, whatever, the medical equipment, and start to sell something to somebody. Go and pick it somewhere, go to another clinic and tell them that I'm a doctor. And when you tell them that you're a doctor, they will believe you. That's sitting in the house for 4 years waiting for a government to employ you. Or if you say you're a nurse and you're waiting for 3 years for a government to employ you. Meanwhile, there are some products in that industry that you know where to go to sell. You have no idea what will come out of it. And that's why most people don't start businesses at all, because they have that little mind. This is my profession, and this is it. This is what I know what to do. If you don't learn how to sell, your ability to get money is very little. Unless you are stealing. If you don't, all the people who are controlling money around the world, go and look at them. They're selling something. They're selling. They negotiate. They fight. That's why they control money. All the poor people are very shy because they hold their dignity so high. But what do you have to lose? If you don't have the job, you already, the dignity is gone. So go and fight it and build it. I mean, I never worried about those. I don't care. If I have to do anything for survival, I will do it. Don't let the school get your head so much. It's not important. What you need to do is do something with your life and become, build something with your life. You want to prove something, and so that is it. So if you don't believe in it, if you don't believe in yourself, then you over worry about what people think. And what people think means nothing, because they are not the one feeding you. So if you finish college, you have nothing to do, get to the market, find something, sell cocoa, sell pawpaw, sell orange. Go and buy some shares and sell. If you work in a retail shop, you work in a direct sales shop, you work in a distribution, work well. You are learning something significant that will change how businesses are built, and that's what separates. You see, the reason people are able to build genuine businesses is because they know sales. Those who build businesses by cutting corners because they didn't learn the sales. So the only way that they can get the margins up is for them to connive with another person to shoot the figures. But people who are able to build credible businesses are very masterful with sales. They're able to do the sales and sell well. They very good customer service. They're able to convince people to buy from them. They have the ability to negotiate for better rate. Those are the people who are able to build genuine businesses. And where do they learn them from? They learn them from the scratch. They believe that they were not above the selling. They were never above it. And if somebody insulted them, it doesn't mean anything. If somebody talked bad about them, it doesn't mean anything. If somebody ridiculed you when you started, they ridicule everybody. It doesn't change anything. If you have to start it on a table, start. Wherever that you can start, it doesn't mean anything. Give yourself 5 years and see what will come out of it. So this weak idea of people expecting so much from you because you have gone to university should not get to you. You finish the university, you write the exam, they gave you a certificate, that's it, you're done. Now go and prove it. And so start to build anything at all. Anything. Sell anything at all that you can sell. And forever be proud that you are involved in something that is helping people. That's where the joy comes from. When we start anything at all, it's the fact that we bring value to something. Sometimes it's not even just the money. Maybe sometimes we don't even know how the money will come out of it. But the fact that you are doing something meaningful with your life, and before you see it, it explodes. It explodes. But that whole thinking of you being so much enthused and obsessed with your school certificate is the problem. So they gave you the job, you're so proud that you want to even leave the place because you don't want somebody to see that you work there because you have a degree. I really don't care about your degree anyway. The degree that you had from the school that you had to just write the same thing that they gave you, it's no degree at all. So don't believe that you even have degree. I don't think it's anything. Why? Because most of us, when we were in school, the exam, we didn't use our mind to even write the exam. They ask you for definition and you had to write what the lecturer told you in the first place. So that's not education. That's something you're chewing and you're pouring out to the people. You're not using your brain. So why are you so much happy with this class they gave you? You will not be able to produce results. The best way to prove is for you to get into something that gets you results. And a lot of it is in the sales. And the people who have developed the sales see a lot of money. And if you want money and leverage, you want money and freedom, learn how to sell something. That's it. And if you know how to sell, there are a lot of companies in Tema. There are a lot of companies who are looking for people who can sell their product. You will never be out of job, even though it's tough. You never, because then you become if you're a master, you can sell so many products. You have your own free time to sell anything if you develop this skill. And direct sale, retail, you can build anything around it. It's all your core. But if you let your culture or the community look down upon you or what you do, then you become nothing. And so don't raise yourself so much above selling, because that's where you learn everything about business actually. And if you can't learn at least the basis about business, if you don't know how to sell, if you want to train your child to do the business, where do you want them to start? At the CEO level? No, they should be able to convince a customer and take money. That's how they start the business. And that's why it is. So if you want to employ somebody, that's why even some of the multinationals, you see, if they want to train somebody to become a top manager or something, they send you to where you engage the customers to understand your customer. And selling is like that. You're able to get what the customer wants. You're able to keep that pace with them all the time. And that's what the business is about. So no matter your discipline, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a doctor, whatever you are, if you don't have anything to do, or even if you have something to do and you want to learn to build a business, you want to learn how to have an extra income, the selling is the best way to go. And you do that with dignity, with pride. Don't ever think that you're just doing it because you have nothing to do. No, it's the best way to learn to build anything at all. It's the best way to become anything, especially if you want to build a business. or if you want to become a very good person in any company, or the bosses are very happy with the one who brings in the sales. The time that if the guy who brought in the project is the one that they look out for all the time. It's not the one who is working on the project so much. It's the one who brought the project. Those are the ones that they give the money to. You know, if the project is 10 million, the one who brought it, they pay him more than the one who is just executing it. Why? Because the future of the business is dependent directly on those who are bringing in the next project and the next project and the next project. The future of the shop is dependent on the sales that they are making. So the ones who are making the sales, the big figures, are the ones that they want, not the ones who can sell. You know, so every business that you are, every company that you work for is selling something anyway. And those who are superstar in those areas are those who are bringing in the sales. How the money comes in. Because once you're seeing the sales, that's money. You know, and that's what everybody is happy with. You don't want to put the guy there and he's not able to bring in anything. You want to fire him. You know, so that is it. And that's the best skill that you can develop. If you're in college, that's the best skill you can develop if you want money anyway. If you want to be successful as a business person, somebody should have told you that the selling, the negotiation, the ability to convince people, give good customer service was the best skill that you could have. And once you have that, you'll be able to build some things to your own advantage. You become a bit more disciplined. You become very consistent and persistent with you getting goals for yourself. You're able to build your case, your argument, and negotiate with people to get results. You know, and that's why you benefit as well, and you get money. And especially those who sell on commission. If you're able to sell more, you get more. You know, so and never think that you're above the selling. If you have nothing to do, move around and get into some shop and tell them that you want to work there, and train there. Even if you want to start a business, train there for about 6 months and see what you can go out and start. You know, so thank you very much. My name is Obendako. I've tried to talk about sell with conviction. Sell with conviction, and never think that your child that you send to school, if he doesn't know how to sell anything, he's going to succeed at anything. He may succeed as an innovator, as an inventor, as a surgeon, but as somebody who controls a lot of wealth, they have got to learn how to sell their gift, sell their product, sell their business, sell what they know. You know, the best of anything know how to sell themselves. So if you are very good at anything and you don't know how to sell yourself, nobody will buy from you. And don't believe that just that you have produced a good product means that people will buy. No, you have got to control the selling, and that comes with skill. That comes with skill. So if you want to teach your son anything, teach him how to sell. Learn how to sell themselves, and learn how to sell a product, learn how to sell something. If you want to lift your game this year, study the sales and try. You may be shy, but if you have got to control a lot of money, then that's what you have to do. Unless maybe you were born as a king, then you may not have to do that. But if you're born as any of us, you have got to learn how to sell and build something, and train people to do the same thing. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Thank you.